While hiking through a dense, uncharted forest one afternoon, a man named Tom stumbled upon an old, weathered cabin hidden deep among the trees. The structure was barely visible through the thick foliage, and it looked like it hadn't been touched in decades. Curious and a bit adventurous, Tom decided to take a closer look. The cabin's door was slightly ajar, creaking as he pushed it open. Inside, the air was musty, and dust particles floated in the dim light that filtered through the cracked windows. The interior was sparse, with only a few pieces of old furniture and a fireplace filled with coal ashes. But something on the far wall caught Tom's eye: a large, faded map pinned above a table, marked with strange symbols and routes that didn't seem to match any known geography. As Tom examined the map, he noticed a heavy, leather-bound journal lying on the table. The cover was worn, and the pages inside were yellowed with age. He flipped through the journal, quickly realizing it belonged to someone who had lived in the cabin many years ago. The entries described bizarre occurrences in the forest, strange lights in the sky, eerie sounds in the night, and an elusive creature that the author believed was watching him. Tom's heart raced as he read the final entry, which ended abruptly, as if the writer had been interrupted. The last words were chilling. "It's here, I can hear it outside." Just then, a loud thud came from outside the cabin, snapping Tom out of his reading. He cautiously approached the window, peering out into the thick woods. The forest was still, almost too quiet. But in the distance, just beyond the tree line, he saw a dark figure moving slowly through the trees. Tom's instinct was to run, but something compelled him to stay and investigate. He grabbed a flashlight from his backpack and stepped outside, following the path the figure had taken. As he ventured deeper into the woods, the trees grew denser and the air colder. The figure was now out of sight, but Tom felt an overwhelming sense of dread. Suddenly, the ground beneath him gave way, and Tom found himself tumbling into a hidden pit. As he lay there, trying to regain his senses, he noticed the walls of the pit were lined with bones, human bones. Panic set in as he scrambled to climb out, but the walls were too steep and slippery. Just when he thought all hope was lost, he heard the sound of footsteps approaching the edge of the pit. A shadow loomed over him, and Tom looked up, expecting the worst. But instead of a figure, he saw a rope being lowered down. Without hesitation, he grabbed hold and was pulled to safety. Once out of the pit, Tom turned to thank his savior, but there was no one there, only the thick forest, silent and still. He looked back at the cabin, now barely visible through the trees, and knew he had to leave immediately. As Tom raced back through the woods, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was following him, watching his every move. When he finally reached his car and drove away, he vowed never to return to that forest again. But the mystery of the cabin, the journal, and the shadowy figure would haunt him for the rest of his life. If you found this story as chilling as I did, be sure to subscribe and like the video for more mysterious tales.